Welcome to Moments in the Word. I'm James Tyler, your host, and this morning we'll be reading from Acts chapter number 16, verses 22 through 30. And the multitude rose up together against them, and the magistrates rent off their clothes and commanded to beat them. Then they had laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into prison, charging the jailer to keep them safely, who, having received such a charge, thrust them into the inner prison and made their feet fast in the stocks. And at midnight Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken. And immediately all the doors were open, and everyone's bands were loosed. And the keeper of the prison, awakening out of his sleep, and seeing the prison doors open, he drew out his sword, and would have killed himself, supposing that the prisoners had been fled. But Paul cried with a loud voice, saying, Do thyself no harm, for we are all here. Then he called for a light, and sprang in, and came trembling, and fell down before Paul and Silas, and brought them out, and said, Sirs, what must I do to be saved? As we turn and we look at this text this morning, we find that it recounts the events of Paul and Silas being beaten and imprisoned in Philippi, and their miraculous deliverance. Here are some key lessons or elements we can apply to our lives today in regards to this text. Despite being unjustly beaten and imprisoned, Paul and Silas maintained their faith, praying and singing hymns to God. This teaches us to keep our faith strong and find solace in our beliefs, even in difficult times. Their prayers and hymns led to a miraculous earthquake that freed them from their chains. This highlights the power of prayer and worship in our lives, reminding us that spiritual practices can bring comfort and even miraculous changes. When the earthquake happened and the prison doors opened, Paul and Silas did not escape. Instead, they stayed in to prevent the jailer from harming himself, showing compassion and concern for others, even in their own dire situations. We can apply this by looking out for others and offering support, even when we are facing challenges our own selves. The jailer, moved by Paul and Silas's actions and the miracle he witnessed, asked how he could be saved. This shows that our actions and behavior can serve as a powerful witness to others, prompting them to seek out the source of our strength and our faith. The jailer here and his household were baptized immediately after hearing the message of salvation. This encourages us to respond promptly to spiritual insights and divine callings in our lives, taking decisive action to align our faith and our values. The jailer's transformation from a potential suicide to a believer who brought his entire household to faith shows the profound impact that a single act of faith and compassion can have. We can be inspired to believe in the power of transformation, both in our lives and in the lives of others. And as always, by reflecting on these lessons, we can strive to live with greater faith, compassion, responsiveness to spiritual insights, and a commitment to being a positive influence on those around us. I'm James Tyler, coming to you live from the Castle Studios, and welcome again to Moments in the Word. God bless.